Hey fellow comrades, and welcome back. Now today's match again is gonna be against Tommy. Now let me say a couple of things. I was trying to get a match in between to kind of schedule this match to be uploaded sometime in the future, but I really didn't have much time yesterday to find myself some matches, and I was kind of like, I want to bring you guys about today because I really want to be frequent when my uploads, when my channel is concerned. And this is the match I had worth of recording and uploading. So with that being said, let's get right into it. He's got his rapid dash. I have my bite. I was kind of fearing hidden power ice. I know that my Noctowl can probably take it with reasonable ease, and he switches out as well to his Meganium. Now he does make a good move by switching out to Tentacle. Expect me to go for the Toxic, and that is exactly what I did there. And now I'm gonna switch out to my Ferret, expecting him to go for the Toxic Spikes. I'm Bandit, and he switches out as well, so he does make a series of good plays right here, because that is gonna force me to go for the Sucker Punch to get some heavy damage in there. But unfortunately this guy is gonna go rampage on me right now. He's gonna reveal Facade, of course, Toxic Orb, True Power, 140 stab, out of this world. Poison gonna be doing some residual damage as well, but here is where stuff get a little bit more messy. I switch out to my Diana, thinking, okay, I can go for the Sucker Punch, I can take him down. He may think that I will sub, expecting him to predict me to make the Sucker Punch going in, but he does make a really good move right now. Goes for rest, avoiding the Sucker Punch as well as my Dark Gem, and afterwards he's gonna go for the Sleep Talk and get the Close Combat. The reason I didn't Sucker Punch is because I was thinking that he's gonna predict me to go for it again and get some heavy damage or not, or there is a chance that he can get Facade. Facade would have not been enough to take me down because it doesn't power up the Facade, it's only half power, it's not at full potential of power. So that's something to have in consideration. That's something that Tommy kinda learned on that particular turn right there as people were talking in Skype. Anyways, with that being said, I'm gonna switch out to Amoga. He switches out with the Close Combat. He doesn't want to, he doesn't want to risk too much. Plus, I do resist the Close Combat as well. And unfortunately, I crit this guy as he was trying to Morning Sun. I guess he was, I don't know, maybe he was thinking I will switch out one of these days. But I was kind of dishing out respectable amount to where I wasn't really fearing him too much. But then again, I should have been fearing because Amoga isn't as bulky. But, Rapid Dash was taken down, Tentacle comes in. I'm gonna switch out because with Air Slash, I'm really not gonna be doing any reasonable amount towards the Tentacle, being that most of them are especially defensive with the Evilite. So I switch out to Gabite. He's gonna put up some Toxic Spikes as well as knock off my Evilite, which is gonna make me less bulky than I originally am. I'm a defensive Gabite with, rough skin and so forth. I'm like a OU defensive Garchomp with Stealth Rock. So it's a really good Pokemon with really good typing. But what makes it, respectably good is that, well, actually it's his typing that makes it shine when compared to the others. This turn I did predict him to switch out to Meganium, expecting me to go for the Earthquake, which Tentacle is kind of weak to, so I did go for Dragon Claw. Then after that I switch out to Mocha, but the Lead Seat misses for him. That is mighty unfortunate, because the Lead Seat would have been very helpful towards him, because he could have switched out, preserved Meganium at reasonable amount. And after that, you gotta know that Meganium in general is a very bulky Pokemon. I'm checking out my team. I don't have too many things that can really threaten it offensively speaking, so there would have need to be a series of other plays in order to handle this Pokemon further on. Spikes have been set into place. I don't have a Rapid Spinner right now, so stuff are kinda looking bad on my behalf. But then again, I believe there are only two Pokemon that are weak to Spikes as of right now. Toxic Spikes, that is toxic in general. All the rest, 3 of my Pokemon are kinda immune to it, being part Levitate or part Flying. So that's pretty great. I'm gonna go for Dragon Claw yet again, thinking that he's gonna predict the Earthquake. I mean, before I didn't go for it, being that Meganium is expected, but this time I'm like, okay, purely on the fact that once you over-predict, the second time you just playing it safe, but this time yet again I did over-predict, and that was an over-prediction that did go into my favor. He does get the burn, which means that he's got Dream World ability that boosts up his special attack, but unfortunately I have an absolute check, an absolute counter to this guy without rest. I can easily blow him away with Whirlwind, and luckily I Whirlwind him into Meganium, which is actually a very good switch. I would rather see this Pokemon coming in than something like a Tentacle. or maybe even Ursaring, because those can actually still threaten me out. But as of right now, I'm gonna whirlwind it as he's gonna lead seed me, and this is a perfect Pokemon. I want him to force a switch in, because the fate is, you know, he could have bank on me attacking him, and then he can bring in the, you know, the Tentacool and then Rapid Spin afterwards, and then I would have need to put Stealth Rocks into place, so this thing would have been heavily crippled. But this time around, we actually managed to bring that Pokemon in forcefully, and with that, he was out of this control. It was not in his control to deal with Stealth Rocks as well as Burn. Even with the Lead Seed damage, that was enough. So that is great. We're gonna switch out to the terror that is ET for Atari. Yeah, our Chimecho, Chimecho, I believe people call it. I always pronounce it Chimecho for some reason. And you know what? I'm still gonna be pronouncing Chimecho. But Ursaring right here, he's gonna go for the Sleep Dog. Again, he is not fully knowledgeable with the fact that Facade is not fully powered, and this is gonna be revealing right now. But this is only half power, and I'm gonna score a crit right now. How important was this crit? Well, he would have been still resting for one turn, and if his Meganium didn't have aromatherapy, then you know, stuff would have really not been looking all that well for him. But as of right now, as it stands, Ursaring was taken down. That's pretty great. He's gonna go for the Scald with Tentacool. He's starting to realize, and he did mention in the stream, that he doesn't have much to hit this guy. And it's funny because when I guess the inspiration of me using this Pokemon was back in the past, in the 4th generation, which is a whole completely different environment when Pokemon are concerned. I was facing Wasted Sky Pirate, and for some reason I had this same issue. And I don't know why. I mean, the Fane is very frail. It's not the bulkiest Pokemon around. Well, very frail is not because it's defensive, but still, it's not the bulkiest Pokemon around. Yet he's struggling with the same issues I had back in the past, and it's got Levitate, so his main animation kind of does give it justice when his abilities are concerned, you know, outside of Pokemon that really give you thinking they have Levitate but they don't, like Magneton and so forth. Still, Psychic is going to be enough to two-shot that Tentacool. That was actually a solid two-shot from what I can tell from the first damage. He's going to switch out his Survivor. Of course, I guess it's Scarf. The way he actually reviews the Venom Shock, it's probably the Toxic Spike support, getting the full power, the doubling the power of it. Very powerful, very threatening if not prepared for it. But this turn, it does show that he made a misplay because he was expecting me to be faster than him. Maybe this is coming from the lack of facing this Pokemon in general. I'm not too sure what kind of Pokemon he's been facing in the past, but Meganium is very fast. I mean, it's decently fast for its animation. His design looks like a Pokemon that's got like 240 speed at max, but it's got 284 if I'm not mistaken, so that's a lot of speed to go up for it. And I managed to take down his last remaining, and that was the game. So guys, that was the game for today. I didn't say, I never mentioned Tom in the previous video, but go check him out. Power Toss, you guys may know him. I didn't give him proper shout out that I should, because he provides very good content narration and new stuff, most likely like PU, the lowest of the lowest. Go check him out. Very cool guy, definitely deserves a check. But with that being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you did, you know, I'm sorry for not providing you a match against another person, but I'm gonna do my best to provide something tomorrow. I'm gonna try to look for some matches today after I'm done with this match. It's just that I don't have as much time to focus on the layout afterwards, so this is gonna be covering for today. Anyways guys, like if you enjoyed, thank you very much for your continued support, and until next time, take care, peace.